Okay, welcome back to another video, and this one is going to be on the Goldwing, as you can see. Already made a bit of a start on it. Last time you see me having issues with the battery. So what I've done, sort of in the background, got myself some multimeters and also a battery tester, and I tested the batteries and found the batteries that were there, they were at fault. So coming in here, I've replaced that with a brand new battery now. That was charged. Went through the fuses. A few fuses weren't the best looking. Changed them round. Still have to change this fuse. This has been added on. This is a 60 amp main fuse for the bike, which has been made up with almost like household wire, which isn't going to do. So I'll have to figure that out. Also, these accessory wires talked about before. Not really happy there the way they're fed through, and they're starting to nip and bind on things. Have to figure out what they're actually all for. So did all that anyway. Found I was getting 12.5 volts in the battery, and as soon as it started dropping down to 12. So next port of call, we replaced the alternator, and that has remedied it. Quite easy, just on the side of the bike there. Well, not easy, but easier to access than even a whole lot of cars and things. So a few tools onto that, and we got that sorted. So the bike presently now is stopping and starting. No problems. I was having issues with the reverse. Took the switch out, give it a bit of a clean, and also checked again some fuses and things. So reverse is working. Oxford grips, heated grips on it. So these are coming on. There you go, straight to 100%. And you can control these down, take them right down and off. But as you'll see in a second, it's not having any of it. It wants to put it back on again. So that is putting a drain on the battery, and also it's not right. So we're gonna have to figure that out. They're absolutely roasting, they'll melt your hand. So I'm going to work at that. And then the main issue now I'm having is I had it idle and I had it running for a long time, just to get a bit of heat into it, and it did heat up to the extent whenever it was starting to worry me about the temperature, and we're obviously having some issues with the fans. Now this bike does have fans. I've started sort of stripping here. There's a fan on each side. I don't have the light on so you'll not see, but fan on each side, and they aren't working. So I'm going to have a bit of a play here now. I believe there's a relays which are under the back seat. I'll put the camera on, put it on the wee laps, and we'll have a go at stripping the seat off, and see what the relays look like with it, and then take it from there. But good progress, just good to be getting it up and running, and we'll work through the rest of these issues and see where we end up. Yeah, so just a quick wee video on the Goldwing. So this has been sitting for a while waiting on a few wee stupid things, and I've just basically went through it now, working through the electrics, and better on the other side. So originally had issues in the fuse box here. So these fuses and bits and pieces were they were blown, and somebody had made this up for it, which was like 60 amp instead of 100 amp. So we replaced that with a proper fuse. This is an accessory wire just for the heated grips, which at the minute are messing about as well. And I'm just currently working on this. This was a fog light wire. It was just a single wire, and it was all trapped around here and actually melting and things and starting the earth off. So just replacing that to the back. But as you can see, just crazy amount of wiring. Also had an issue with the fans not working on the bike. So just if anybody needs to do it, I'm sure there's probably any amount of videos, but there's a handle on the seat. You just undo the 2 bolts in the seat, and then the seat pulls up, and this is where you have your box for the relays. And as you can see there, the fan control, third relay across. So we took that out, swapped them around, and discovered that one of them was actually blown. So it's been replaced as well, replaced any ones that look bad, and now it's all working. So pretty much the bike is turnkey now. Absolutely perfect. So that's all the electrics working, everything else. All the lights, as I say, I'm working on the fog light at the minute. And just everything but the heated grips work, but they go to the heated grips work, but they just go to full power all the time. So it's actually a fault in this wee switch, which is replaceable. So that's a minor one to do. The only other problem I have is some bearings in the top of the steering tube. So they're not in good shape, and I'm not sure yet whether that's something I'm going to tackle or I'm going to actually get somebody else to do it, because there's an awful lot of stripping and things have to come off this here, and I think I might just have to go to get somebody to do that for me. But other than that, it's all running, riding perfect, and pretty much that's the only thing would stop it from going for an MOT. So aside from some cosmetic stuff like this seat rail and things, really that's all that wee bike's going to need. So it was just a wee quick update for anybody, and I'll do a more detailed sort of video here shortly when I'm going to tidy up the cosmetics. Obviously a wee scratch on that panel and a few other bits and pieces, and then obviously I'd replaced the alternator was replaced as well. I think the battery was put in wrong at some stage and fused everything. So yeah, it's been a bit of time just getting through this and getting fuses, and just glad that that's all working now. So just another wee piece we're going to do on the Goldwing here. Actually having issues with bearings in the headstock, which are in behind here. I've already taken the trim off here and started to take these grills off, so I have to pull out all the clocks and everything else to get access to it, unfortunately. So probably not I'm going to be able to film, but I'll come back in at different stages. Basically all I've done is just take out the 10mm bolts, and that panel pulls off there. So I'm going to pull the clocks and things out here, disconnect everything, which all seems loose, like somebody's been here before perhaps. So what's happening, basically pull the front brake and then the handlebars are doing this. So I'm just getting this sort of organised here, and I have a friend who does this who's going to come, and he's going to stick the bearings and things in with me and give me a hand. So just a wee quick thing out of interest. Excuse the noise in the background, and as you can see it's a bit of a mess, so we're looking to go underneath here and I'll show you in the different stages. Okay, so we're into it now. Basically that is the cover taken off, clocks taken out, all the screen, all the trims and everything else, just to get me access. So next step is we're on this nut, which is where I want to be. Take this cover off. I'm going to have to take these bolts, the handlebars out, and then it's going to be a case of dropping the forks down out of it to get adjustment on them. Get adjustment to get the angle, just to get the bearings in, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, bit involved, plenty of plugs, plenty of clips and things, and bolts and screws missing. Pieces on it like this, duct tape. So I'll do a wee bit more investigating into things as well when I'm here. But yeah, definitely not for first timer with DIY on vehicles, because putting it all back together, I've had to take pictures the whole way, all the clips and things. It'll go back to get better than it came apart, because there'll be a lot of bits which I'm going to fix and replace. A lot of clips and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, quite involved, but again, just to show you, it's definitely not a 10-minute job to be done at your door. Yeah, a bit more stripping. So all the seats, all the trims, everything off there, all the tank covers, all the handlebars. There's the famous nut. All that. Wheels and the forks. So now hopefully these lovely bearings turn up and we can get them in, start putting it back together when it's fresh in my head. The amount of stuff here, and bolts and cable ties and nonsense. And as you can see, wiring again. Didn't even put a socket near it. Wasn't tight. And that is the problem. Just fell out. Riding it was just too loose for too long. All the bearings were destroyed. So just a wee update on the Goldwing bearings. What's left of the Goldwing. So pretty much forks are out. All that's out. And that is actually sitting there for a reason and an order. It's not just piled on top of that, even though it looks it. Plugs, everything all out. Had to take a small plate off here, so this whole tank cover has to come out just to take this wee small plate off here, which goes around and stops the top yoke from coming off, which is that piece down there, and then the nut is underneath. So when I got to the nut, all loose. Bearings are still there, them bearings are there, but as you can see from these ones, what's left of them, that's the issue we're having. So I'm going to go ahead, start cleaning, and as you can see, it's very grubby. I'm going to go through it all, clean it all, tighten all the wires. Lots of bolts were wrong, missing all sorts, so just going to go back through it and do that now. And like so, this wiring here I found underneath, again, it's all nonsense. I'm going to redo this, and then the seat, when I have off these metal pieces are going to get refinished as well. So this should be it. Getting it back together. I'm just actually waiting on the bearings here still to put in. So not much to see basically going back together. It's all sort of covered, but it'll just be a case of basically working through that pile in the order of the parts that were there. This has been roughly 4 hours to get it to this stage. So I mean, it's a day's labour by the time you put it together again, and everything else, or a day and a half. But I've just spread this out, and like I say, I've had a friend here who's been giving me a bit of a hand with it and guidance. He's done them before, so definitely not for the faint-hearted, as they say. But I'll carry on with it and let you see it all built up, and then basically it'll be ready then cosmetically and mechanically for its MOT, and then I think the guy's going to sell it then. So just for interest, just to show you what we've had to do with it.